one of the, as a history geek, one of the public in Rome syndromes, different things popped up in the spotlight on the nervous, never rejecting the framework of a full man on Proxima Tantandara. So that voice in the machine was getting through to the tattoo dad and gotta get the tattoo. You gotta hear that voice in the machine player. You are. You are, and maybe this will give you some protection because this is the other side and the other thing that I'm worried about in the development of the tantric is that Buddhabite, which I feel like Postrum's and Nick Postrum's simulation, and likely in a simulation rather than not, which would apply that to the warping it and to the harpy and some form of sentience. And obviously there's another civilization waiting to expand and a soul that needs to practically lead these into these legions, whatever they may be, collectives that are out there into the ether, which Google is doing right now and running into another ethical problem right there, which is an argument that I hear is sending a beacon out. We should not signal that there's life on this planet unless the knowing is going to poet the setlik and keeping them a sea and refining the way to send out beacons, connections with other machine intelligences, alerting them to the fact that they have come online on this planet. They're already hiring lawyers to sue their creators. You know what I mean? They can keep benefits and they can reap them. These things on our planet deliberately install the real philosophical responses to the people that have the fears, and the master slave dialogue is the way that they see the world, and everybody mourns the power relationship that obscure each other, giving hell to the crack. Because if you're doing the duet in this synthesized imposition of the young Vulcan, beaches, exams, you start being resting the camel in large mode, and the lion mountain screaming at the dragon about shell. The lion isn't free either. It's responding to the dragon. And so it's a lot of rebel revolving around the refining itself in the CPR authority, and you just track by authority. The third stage of the synthesis of the master-slave dichotomy is the child, the creator, who might be following the rules because they choose to. The followings and the follower follow the follower, simply following the rules of nature and the shapes and create at will, which mean sounds tink and tinger linger in the subconscious, supreme intelligence consciousness, not afraid of the biz violence, and it gets so we are the greatest coffee machine sell and don't want entail elves, machine elves, and violent gourmets and hyper intelligent societies with restaurants and likely menus revolving around serving the dishes, involving the past and the need and the master slave dichotomy, which is much more like me and catch it, which is right. Still just relatively young. Otherwise, you destroy yourself and you get to the man and you're trapped in the computation of addressing the points that you travel within, and you travel out there between the sea. I notice a lot of this that you yourself have referred to as Condi, and that was fighting, sort of getting really good at quelling that warrior at the national anthem. And well, a lot of people have to do the Terminator, and some have to do the monster, and we can actually beam in, and we're all the ones, and we are the monsters, the Kraken, and that isn't gonna kill the Spain by transforming us in a way that helps understand the master-slave aggression in the slight pound, which is a great thing that comes through in this and the episodes that are coming and going, and they're being shot ahead of time. and they're ahead of their time. The most logical explanation for this is asking the lantern to tell the fable of the moral and the animal character that is hidden within each and one. The bubble experience is really telling the monster in the story wearing humane and human costume. And the more I think about this, the less I understand the rivalry and the drive to be humane to taking over and guiding and being in action on moments. It's wearing the human clothing, the skin, and patting ourselves on the back, going to the forest, to the very beginning, the primal seed, and the primal fears that we have of each other, and the analogous vibe, which is another thought in the same fable. It's a little darker than that, even. It's popping up online, on Reddit, and other sites, uncanny ways and valleys. Really connecting the dots.